Hi, I'm so glad you found me today. My name is Angelica Osborne, and I am a 24-year suicide attempt survivor. I am not a therapist, however, I've had a lot of good therapy, and over the years, I've combined kind of a Cliff Notes version from group therapy, individual therapy, different self-help books of ways that I not only stay alive, but at least on most days, thrive as well. So I wanted to put these out in the universe today in case you or someone you love could use some of my list, and hopefully you can make your own list. Take what works for you, get rid of what doesn't, and adjust any of them to your own spiritual journey and the fight for mental health. First of all, before we get started, I just want to remind you that you are not your thoughts. This was a big game changer for me. And so you might think, well, then who am I? You're the one that hears your thoughts. You're the one that knows what the brain is thinking. You are the soul that existed before this life and came into this body and will go back into the spirit realm one day when the brain and the body are gone. So the brain and mind help support your soul, and they work together. So your soul can respond to your thoughts. And this is kind of the key to it all, is how to change your thoughts, right? How can we stop obsessions or stop a thought before it downward spirals? And as soon as we recognize it, rise above. This is kind of a big one. If you can get that down, then the rest of it will fall into place a little easier. And the good news is the more you do it, the easier it gets and the quicker that you can do it. This list, when I first started out getting mentally healthy, would take sometimes days. And now I've got it down to where it might take hours, it might take 20 minutes. And some days I have to go through the list again or say, you know what, I'll do better tomorrow. But anyway, let's start off by talking about the biology. So this is my phrenology friend here. Isn't he beautiful? And he has an amygdala, just like we do, right around here, deep in the frontal lobe. And this is where our emotions are centered. And so these emotions sometimes are so strong, it's about the size of an almond. They're so strong, it can hijack the rest of the brain. And that's why when you're in a big fight with someone you're upset about, you can't eat or sleep or drink, or when you fall in love and you're just so obsessed. So that's what we're up against. But what we want to do is kind of invite the rest of the brain. We're going to do a lot of things to light up the different parts of the cerebral and the cortex and invite the whole body to help us deal with the amygdala, because emotions are important, but we don't want to be ruled by them, right? So today, this list starts with release, and this can be in therapy, this can be to someone that you love, but you need to let it out. That's going to happen before we can do any healing. I've had about 15 years of good therapy, and so if you haven't, then I would encourage you. You can Google psychotherapist sliding scale, and that's how I found some of my best therapists. Was they were grad students. It worked to get their master's degree and needed patients. So that's one suggestion. But for me, a release is a good cry. And the reason a good cry feels good is pretty brilliant. So if you hit your knee and you cry a tear, it's actually just water. But if you're in angst or pain and you cry, you release toxins from your brain. And that's why you feel better afterwards. So if you can't cry over your situation, which is understandable, it is a coping skill we learn as a child, then go ahead and find someone else's cathartic experience. Watch a video of a soldier dad coming home or a dog being adopted and let the tears flow, and then you can tap into some of that pain that's under the surface and go ahead and let that out. That's the first step. Very important. The second step is to bathe, whether it's a 3-minute shower or a bath, or if you just can't get yourself into the tub, then go ahead and wash your face, because we're lighting up other sensories, right? We're lighting up the skin and the nerve endings, and it's opening. It feels the breeze more, and you feel cleaner. And so I would advise you to take a quick shower. Tell yourself you don't have to wash your hair, don't have to shave, or at least wash your face. Get a wet rag if you can't get someone out of bed. But the feeling of cleansing and water, it goes back to being in the womb when we last felt truly safe. And it's very effective. So I want to emphasize that a lot. The third thing we're going to do is eat some protein. I'm a vegetarian, so for me, I have usually a protein shake in the morning. This is an example of the one I used, Atkins, because I'm also diabetic since I was 14. So I use the low sugar ones. And if you are in a good place, then by all means, fix yourself a great breakfast. But if you're like me and you're down, you're not going to take the time, right? But you have to give your body the chance to help you. It's just like if you ate a donut and then you feel crappy afterwards. You have to put things in your body to help with the mental, okay? So I suggest buying a bunch of these, which I keep in my fridge. Yes, it's baby food, but look, this is sweet potato and apple. It only takes me 30 seconds. I'm just like, all done. I drink my protein shake. I drink some water, very important. And then have a cup of coffee, or in my case, 5-Hour Energy, because they have a lot of B vitamins, and I'm a vegetarian, so these are really helpful for me. I never drink the whole thing. It has the same caffeine as 1 cup of coffee, but what I'll do is just like, oh, I'll have an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and I sip on it all day. So for me, if you're feeling down, a little bit up can go a long way. So in about 5 minutes, as you can see, I already have protein, all my vegetables and fruits for the morning, and a little caffeine. And this is kind of my go-go pack for a breakfast on a day when you don't really feel like doing anything. Just tell yourself, 3 minutes, just suck it down, and then go to the next step. The next step, after you've had things that are healthy and you're giving your body the cue that we are in this together and we're incorporating you as well, go ahead and give yourself a little treat. You know, chocolate lights up the same part of the brain as cocaine and has a lot less side effects. So I buy little ones because if I don't, I'll eat the whole thing and then I feel crappy, which is not the point. But just a little piece of dark chocolate. This one has mint in it. It's super yummy. And you are now lighting up another part of the brain and getting some serotonins released, which is very important. The next thing I'm going to say is music. Now, you can do this when you're in the shower, which is what I usually do. I play my music while I'm bathing and kind of get a groove going. I suggest, if you are feeling sad, to use music that you don't have an emotional connection with, unless it's something you know that's going to perk you up and make you happy. I love ambiance music, which I didn't discover till I was older. So there's no childhood connection. There's no preconceived connotations. I like space rock, which would be Roy Scott or Air, more Chiba, Sneaker Pimps, these kind of things. But you could even just put in coffee lounge beats, and it's a great little, just get your body moving around. If it's a song that makes you feel good, sing it. Your body needs to hear your voice. When your body hears your voice, it's kind of telling it, hey, we're alive in here and we have a voice. Hearing your own voice is very important. It doesn't matter if you're on key or not. It's not for anyone else, just you. So music, get a little groove going, sing a few tunes, and eventually your body is going to start becoming more aware and alert, and that's going to help us combat the little amygdala hijacking that's happening. The next thing is to read inspiring words. Now, this could be a daily devotional or just a little meme that you have on your phone that says, I'm trying to think of one. Oh yeah, remember your dreams are as hungry as your demons, so make sure you're feeding the right ones. Remember your dreams are just as hungry as your demons, so make sure you're reading the right one, you're feeding the right one. So that right there is just a thought that I'm putting inside my head, I'm telling myself so that I'm aware, and it's a positive thought. Just takes 30 seconds, a minute or two to go ahead and get something inspiring and start the day with that thought. Even if you think you're not thinking about it, it will plant a seed and just helps to keep the positivity going. Number 8 is to laugh. Go ahead and break that seal. Look at a Saturday Night Live skit, maybe old Garfield books that just crack you up from when you were in 3rd grade and thought that was funny that he liked lasagna and coffee, but he was a cat, crazy. Find something that tickles your funny bone, even if it's just a quick scene that kind of breaks the seal of the laughter, and smiling and laughing become easier and kind of more accessible once you've gotten that started. So make sure to get a good laugh in. Number 9, it sounds cliche, but you gotta do it. Stretch and breathe. Why? Because we're getting blood and oxygen to the muscles, which is once again engaging the whole body. So you want to do a good stretch and then breathe. Oh yeah, right here, this one. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're engaging our whole body. And that will slow down your heart rate, your breathing, and your blood pressure. Just another step in this process of getting ourselves to our best self. Next, I use a lot of the olfactory scents. It's very powerful, just like if you, let's say, use a toothpaste that you used also in 3rd grade when you were going through a bad anti-perm stage. That could happen, right? Then use smells that make you feel happy. I don't really like a lot of perfumes, but this is Wake Up This Way by my friend Laura Orr, who makes her own all natural scents. So you spray this, even on your clothes. This one has lemon and citrus and I think a little eucalyptus, and it's so refreshing. Let's say that you don't have anything. Take an orange, and when you're eating this orange, break off little pieces. So these little pieces of orange are going in the air and sticking on your clothes. Just the smell of that natural citrus is very uplifting and effective. The next thing I suggest is to reach out to 3 people you love. Even if it's just a, hey, I love you, I miss you, I was thinking about you today. Whatever it is, reach out to 3 people. And I say 3 because it's a crazy world and sometimes people don't have the ability to get back to you when they want to. So if you send it to 3 people, at least one of those is going to send you back some love. And feeling that connection is really critical when you're feeling alone or isolated. I am the crazy cat lady, so I use my cats as one of my keys and tools, and I just like to curl up around them and put my nose in their fluffy fur, and it always calms me down. So I do this a lot, probably like if I'm home 20 times a day, where I just kind of curl up around my cat and take a few minutes to, well, I get them purring first, like, and then lay down and just kind of breathe with them. Dogs, birds, any animals, because they don't have an ego, and so they're pure and their energy is pure. So if you're an animal person, make sure you walk someone else's dog or go and volunteer at the ACPSA, at the ASPCA, and find an animal. Go look at an animal, and if you can, adopt them and love them and rescue one that needs nothing more than your love, because it's so reassuring and reaffirming. One of the last things I want to do is actually from my acting group. Years ago we learned to do this, where you picture yourself, take a picture of yourself. Here's me. Oh, I'm not that cutie. And you kind of talk to yourself, and you take you as a child and you hold them and you say to them, I love you. I'm here for you. I'm not giving up on you. I'm sorry that you suffered. It wasn't your fault. You were just a kid. And I'm here now. I'm here for you. I love you. It's so important to talk to your inner child and let them know that you're here for them. The next to last thing is to help someone. Make sure that you find someone who needs a helping hand, and when you give it to them, they will repay you with gratitude and kindness, and feeling that you help somebody just is such a good feeling. The last thing is I want to make sure that I don't leave out. I take my meds every day. This one's for my diabetes, and this is Effexor, my antidepressant. If you haven't found an antidepressant, I would invite you to give it a try. It was a life changer for me and just gave me a little distance from my emotions where I could kind of rise above, and that is really key in trying to overcome depression. Throughout all of this, I also use a lot of prayer, and if you meditate or however you connect to your higher spirit, I also encourage that in between, before and after any of these steps, just to help you to make the most of it all. I will do more videos on different parts, but for today I just wanted to give you this basic compiled list of mine, and I hope that maybe some of this would be helpful for you too. Thank you so much. Release, bathe, protein, meds, coffee, chocolate, music, dance, sing. What does that say? Oh yeah, read inspiring words, laugh, stretch, breathe, favorite smells, reach out to 3 people, cats, fluffy blanket, hug you as a child, help someone, and pray. Thank you so much. Have a great day.